Adam Savage here in my cave with a one-day build. Put a show and tell nubbin on there, not the one-day build nubbin. Sorry. There you go. Adam Savage here in my cave with a one-day build, and it's a shop infrastructure build. It's been a while. And as I've often said about shop infrastructure builds, it's always, for me, about monitoring my patterns and monitoring where I wish things were, and then thinking about ways to solve that problem. And one of the things I use a lot of in this shop is little sticks. Tongue depressors, to be sure, are one of my favorites. I used to make these into sanding sticks. There is no better way of mixing small 5-minute epoxy. These are just the best. You can buy them like thousands at a time for like 12 or 15 bucks. We'll include links to all the sticks that I'm talking about in the comments below. But my popsicle sticks are right now stored in a couple places. One over on my paint rack and one over by the slop sink. But I've been annoyed for months about the way I have to reach for them. And also, there are lots of other sticks. There's skewers, there's drinking straws, there's popsicle sticks, which are different than tongue depressors. There's a whole bunch of little, let's see, I actually made a list. Where is it? Here we go. Popsicle sticks, tongue depressors, swabs, skewers large, skewers small, pipe cleaners, straws, acid brushes, and coffee stirrers. These are all different, like little things that you can stick stuff and move stuff. And I have them, I know where they all are, but I've become, and this is how I monitor my patterns. I've been noticing as I go and reach for popsicle sticks each time, I'm like, there's got to be an easier way. And I think I've figured it out. And that's what today's build is. I figured out that I want the popsicle sticks and all these other sticks to be available to me in 2 different portions of the cave. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make 2 stick delivery containers, kebs, and I'm going to put them in 2 distinct parts of the shop where I regularly need them. Hopefully that will improve the flow. That's what the whole goal is. Okay. Let's get started. I don't know. Was that weird and gross? I mean, like, this has been sitting out in my shop and I just ate it. Like, who knows what chemicals are coursing through my veins right now? Like special powers. Okay, let's get started. I have a bunch of this not awesome plywood. Let's call it not awesome plywood, NAP. But not awesome plywood. While I don't love using it for finished things, is perfect for a task like this. I'm not sure I'm going to make as many compartments as I thought about last night. I got really ambitious last night when I was toying around with this idea. All right, how deep is this? This is going to be 4 inches deep. A perfect job for angulus. I just love saying that. I don't care what the angle is. It's just got to be something of an angle. That seems pretty good. So if I did every 2 inches. Yeah, I'm only ever grabbing 1 or 2 at a time, so I don't need big compartments. This is another thing. I tend to get greedy about my sorters. I want them to hold everything. Greedy. I know that's a weird word to use because I just mean like I get ambitious. Yeah. Which I guess greedy could be considered, type of ambition, sure. Okay, so this is the, can you see this? Is that actually even visible? Yeah, there you can see it. These are each going to be the compartments. They're 2.5 inches high. I think I'm going to make them 2.5 inches wide because I like squares. I'm going to make the actual holder itself rectangular rather than slanted, but I'm going to slice these on an angle on my table saw using my fence. I happened to notice in some of my time lapses from the Samaritan build that I frequently placed the camera where some big bottle of something was between my hands and the camera, and I apologize for that. That was the kind of build that was. I just kind of had my head in the space and I just was barreling forward, but I am going to try and allow you to see more of my hands on these builds because I am filming them for a reason. I hope that they're useful. I love doing projects like this all out of the scrap wood that I've got around the shop. It is always super fun to me to be able to utilize lots of little end bits. Okay, so I have 6 pieces here. Yep. Okay, great. We're doing good. Now we need to slice them all on that angle. That to there. Okay, so I have 2. Yeah, I almost messed that up. Yeah, you probably saw my mistake before I did. But I have to reverse 2 of these. Otherwise, they'll all be the same. You can't put these opposite each other because they're all going in the same direction. Yeah, no. So I almost messed up. Almost. Okay, let's see here. Right, I forgot to, yeah. Yeah, totally. It is 19.5 degrees. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry if that was hard for you to watch me mess it up. Which was the one I just did? This is the one I just did. This is the one I... the other. I know I've gone all against the grain and stuff. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Totally separate aside. We did some makeup effects here the other day, and a thing that'll show up in a while. But we needed potentially some fake blood, and I have some around. I have this beautiful, beautiful container of blood made for Alien Covenant, given to me by the Breakaway Effects crew in Sydney back in 2016. It may be 4 years old, but it still smells great. I love having blood from Covenant. They made so much blood for that movie because they couldn't buy enough. Ridley wanted thousands of gallons of blood. Yeah. Feeling good about that. I love this nailer so freaking much. Nice. Oh, look, it's all coming together. I'm really psyched to have these holders, I gotta tell you. I've been thinking about the way I want them to be distributed to me, and this is the way. This is the way. It is the way. Oh, man. Pablo Pascal is so awesome. One down, one to go. Oh, I made my job harder. Yep, shouldn't have done it that way. I should have used the first L to glue up the second L, and then I'd be more along the way. It's a long story, but it's just going to be a little bit more difficult if I do it like this. If that's the top and that's the back. Yes, that's how this works. Hold it in orientation rather than have a spacer hold it for me. But that's okay. I love this nailer. Did I not get a single blow through? Nope. I love it. Oh, is that the one? That is the one. Yep, that is the one. That is the way. Here we go. Same thing, get it lined up in one nice corner. And then we'll stitch it up. And that's the top, so we'll do that. When you want to do better woodworking projects with these kind of pieces of crappy plywood, you should not do what I just did, which is not pay attention to any of the grain. You do want the grain running in the direction that you want the strength. So I have one running this way and one running this way. It's not ideal, but this isn't going to be under any stress at all. It's going to be mounted to the side of a shelf for the rest of its life. And yeah, oh, I got plenty left. Oh, one blow through. Okay, that's exciting. Okay, between all the reading and writing, I've been bleeding and fighting. We need to handle our financial situation. Are we a nation of states? What's the state of our nation? I pass patiently waiting. Now, I need to make the fins that go in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2.9, 3.8. 2.9 and 3.8. So what I did there was on my disc sander, I softened the edges of each of the little shelves, but I also sharpened their sides because I'm a little bit close on my tolerance. You know me, I tend to do that. But this is working out really nicely. Okay, so where do these go? Well, one of them is going to end up living right here. Okay, we are going to, this is going to be a temporary, just a temporary attempt here. Yeah. So I think that's where I want one of these to live. I am not going to make it a permanent mount, but I'm going to give it a, yeah, okay. So here we go. Acid brushes are definitely one of the things I use the most of. Goes in there like that. I love it. Okay, and I have popsicle sticks here. Yeah, see, I use these constantly. Now we have swabs, which I also use a lot of, but because they're often hard to grasp, I can tend sometimes to forget that they're there because I have to go open a package for them. And even like those little bits of friction can hold me back from utilizing something that's useful to me. I don't want half of them up and half of them down. I want them all one direction. It's like when you're counting up the tips in the restaurant at the end of the night. Don't you line up all the bills? Doesn't it make you happy to do that? I like to do that. I mean, I haven't looked for tips in a while, but there we go. Do you really need to watch this whole thing while I sort these? I mean, you can if you want to, I guess. But maybe it's time to ramp this. No time lapses today. I'm all doing it in real time. Great. Pipe cleaners. Skewers. Coffee stirrers. Yeah. Yeah, be generous with them. Look at that. See this? All these little sticks. Every one of them useful. I think I'll do Q-tips as the last one. Again, a frequent need. Great. This is my slop sink. This is where the paintbrushes get cleaned and things tend to gather up for weeks at a time. This is where I normally store all my little sticks and stuff, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Things fall off. These fall off. I tip into them. So right here is where I want to put, my sticks. This box of 500 tongue depressors has lasted me for years. Go ahead and get yourself a box. You won't need to replace it for a while. So now that I have these out, what I can do is I can put the actual main things up in slightly deeper storage, and then I don't have to think about them nearly as much. I was talking about acid brushes a few weeks ago, and a fan just sent me a whole bunch. Like they gifted me a restocking of my acid brushes. I thought that was really neat. I am not suggesting that people do that. That is not why I do this channel. I can totally afford my acid brushes, but what a sweet thought, right? I didn't have nearly as many skewers, large and small, as I thought I did, so I am ordering some in the mails, and they should be here before too long. And here it is in situ. We've got acid brushes, tongue depressors, Q-tips, skewers, coffee stirrers, swabs, and pipe cleaners. I have more of all of these on the way so I can properly stock up the secondary rack. So yeah, I am really pleased with how these came out. That is a quick and dirty. I've ordered more skewers and some other things to stock up the other guy. And I have put in 2 of these, one in each of the locations I frequently want them. For some reason, it's taken me more than a year of thinking about it to finally execute it. But that's sometimes the way with some of these builds. Like, you think about them for a while, and then you kind of ponder it and roll it around in your head before you go, yeah, it's time to do it. Well, that was this morning, and now I have all the little sticks and swabs and cleaners and stuff right where I want them. Right where I want them. I got them where I want them. Thank you guys for joining me for this one-day build. I will see you next time.
Thank you so much for watching that video. Your viewership keeps the lights on here at Tested, and we are grateful. If you'd like to support us further, well, by all means, follow some of the links below to our merch store where we've got some Christmas specials going on. A limited edition Tested rickshaw ornament. We've only got a couple hundred of these, and when they're gone, we're never making any more. We also have the Tested logo ornament. Both of these change colors sitting on your tree. And if you do get them and you do hang them on your tree, why, we'd love to see pictures. Nothing pleases us more than seeing our merch out in the real world. Happy Christmas, happy holidays, and see you in the new year.